I'm going to mute that. Yeah. There's a mouse. If that makes, I don't know if it's easier to use the trackpad or a mouse, but okay. I had that because it's all the way over here, and I'm over. But if you're good with the trackpad, then. Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Roseburg High School here in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon. It is a Tuesday night contest, a non-leaguer, as the Roseburg girls basketball team will welcome in the North Bend Bulldogs. Roseburg comes in still seeking that first win of the season at 0-6 on the year as they get ready to take on North Bend, a program out of the 5A classification that comes in 6-3 on the season. They are 2-3 over their last 5 as they come in to tonight's matchup. It has been an interesting season for this North Bend basketball team. They've played games from the 1A classification all the way up to the 5A classification. And now tonight they will get a chance to take on a 6A team as they take on Roseburg here tonight. Going to have a great one in store for us here this evening. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast. Joey Kieran here with you and welcome you into this evening's streaming and broadcasting of Roseburg girls basketball. It's our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. Give them a call at 673-7122. Coming up here in the pregame show, we'll get a chance to catch up with head coach Chad Smith to talk more about this Roseburg girls basketball program, how things have been going after they've spent the last 2 games out on the road. Looking forward to seeing his program back in action here at home. Want to remind everybody that tonight's game is streaming live with video coverage online at 541radio.com, presented by BTB Moving. They provide labor services for your moving needs here in Roseburg, Douglas County, and around the state of Oregon. They're veteran-owned, affordable, dependable, efficient, and careful. Senior and veteran discounts are available. Book now at 541-315-0122, or you can find them on Facebook at BTB Moving. We'll come back with a word with head coach Chad Smith after this 2-minute break. This is Roseburg girls basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Buy one, get one free at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Buy one signature service oil change with Pennzoil at regular price through the end of March and receive a coupon for a second one free. That's a $43.99 value. The signature service oil change features up to 5 quarts conventional Pennzoil, a new spin-on filter, and a visual inspection of belts, brakes, tires, and wipers, plus fluid top-off and our 90-day top-off guarantee. Buy one signature service oil change, get one free through the end of March at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube next to Champion Car.
Back here with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run of the dump for you. Call Roseburg Disposal at 673-7122. Get a chance to catch up with head coach Chad Smith as the Roseburg girls get ready to take on North Bend here tonight. And coach, you guys go out on the road for a little bit. You've been at home. How is the journey out on the bus for road games gone with this group that you're still trying to kind of acclimate to the varsity level?
Well, it was another learning process last night. We were at Grants Pass, once again, quality club. Can't say enough about how they run their program, and they shot it very well. We were pretty cold coming out. It's kind of been our thing. I think our trademark this year, trademark you don't want to have, but we've been cold to start games, and then once we get in the flow of things, we managed to do all right with it. But we didn't come out on the right side of that one, so we're going to see what we can do tonight. Back to back, first time this year for the girls, so we'll see how they respond after making that trip down there last night and then having to strap it up and go tonight.
I think one of the interesting things that you don't really think about when maybe you're an outside observer, but, in one of the other sports, I think it was baseball that I was talking, or I think actually it was football, I was talking with Coach Heiberger, and he said, I forget that, some of these kids, this is the first time they've gone on a bus ride with the varsity, and I know you guys have had a couple of those now, but, having to teach them what it's like to be out on the road, what your expectations are as a program, and how you want to kind of manage things when you go out on the road. Have you found yourself kind of teaching some of those fundamental things for your team as these girls get their chance to start getting that experience?
Absolutely. We're calling it basketball 101 this year. It's a high school class for some college credit for them. But yeah, there's definite things that you've got to learn, and just timing of how things go at another place. Getting perception of what the floor's like. What's the out of bounds look like. Grants Pass is a great gym. It's one of my favorite gyms to be in there, but it's a different atmosphere. You're down below everybody. Everybody else is up above you. So I enjoy going there. And the girls did, like I said, second half, second through third quarters, we played real well. We didn't start the game, didn't end the game exceptionally well, but we were better. So.
Yeah, I've always thought Grants Pass is one of those ones, and I've asked plenty of coaches before, is this gym one that you got to kind of get out there and make sure guys get used to what it is like shooting at those baskets, because it is a different field. Obviously making your way through the season, and we check in, it seems like every time before the game, on the progress you feel like this team is making, and we've talked about it, that it is a learning season. How do you feel like they've grown since the first time we saw you? How are things continuing to progress for this team, and what are some of the areas you feel like you're starting to see them really show some growth in?
Well, we have totally changed what we look like from the start of the year to this year. It's amazing. I wish I need to go back and show the girls what they look like game one versus where we're at right now, because they have come so far. Now, that being said, there's lots of things to work on every week, and we went up against a great freshman last night in the petite girl from Grants Pass, and she kind of opened our eyes. The night before that on Friday night, we met up with the Sullinger girl out of Ashland, who can, just one of the best shooters I've seen touch a basketball in a long time, and those are all experiences that our girls are learning from. So that's we're trying to come up with ways to defend different teams, and that whole idea of being able to adjust game to game and make little things that we want to do differently on how we're going to defend certain players.
Tonight you guys have a North Bend squad that comes in, not a team that Roseburg High School in any sport really sees a whole lot on the schedule. Looks like they've had a schedule that's filled with a lot of kind of mismatched teams. They've played some 1A, they 2A, and they've had a 5A in there, now get a 6A school on their schedule. What do you think about tonight's matchup against the Bulldogs?
It'll be interesting because, like I said, I really don't know much about them. I can't find any film on them out there to see what they're running. Tonight against our JV, they're in a little man-to-man and giving us a little bit of trouble at our JV level, and it's one of those things we're going to have to learn on the fly. We're going to tip it, and then we're going to see what they jump into defensively, and then we know we're going to come out and we're going to man them up. We've found that our girls play best in a man-to-man. If we have to go to a zone, we will, but it's kind of a last resort. Our girls do like to play that man-to-man defense.
All right, Coach, we look forward to it tonight. Thank you for the time.
Thanks.
And we welcome you back here. That was head coach Chad Smith coming back after I ran down to get starters for North Bend. And if there's any North Bend fans listening, they'll probably know the story. But for Roseburg fans, it might be an interesting one that we will share with you here throughout tonight's broadcast. But we'll have a look at your starting lineups here coming up in just a little bit as we continue on with your Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Again, let them make the run to the dome for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. 673-7122. Joey Kieran here with you. Also along with me tonight, Brenton Cranford back in the studio. Craig Ortega running things on the radio side for us there as well. As we make our way towards tip-off, taking a look at kind of how these two teams have made it to where we are here in tonight's broadcast. For North Bend, they are coming off of a loss against their rival there over on the coast. On Monday, last night, they took on Marshfield. They were on the road. These two schools are separated by just about 10 minutes. They are not that far apart from each other. And Marshfield getting the better of North Bend in that matchup, 38-26, the final score there. So North Bend coming in off of a loss. They are 6-3 on the season, averaging 39.3 points a game, 29.3 points allowed per game. They've got a season high of 40 points. They have held a team to just 15 points this season. So Roseburg looking to try and see if they can take advantage of North Bend, maybe try and get some points up there. But obviously the Bulldogs capable of holding teams in control throughout the season, something that Roseburg has definitely struggled with throughout the year. As for Roseburg, they're coming off of a loss at Grants Pass, so we heard a little bit of a breakdown there from head coach Chad Smith. Roseburg losing 53-20 in their last game. They were held scoreless in the first quarter, and I've lost kind of track with them going on the road a couple of games, lost track of exactly how many, but I know at least probably about 3 times this season that has happened. And he talked about, Chad Smith did, about the slow starts for this Roseburg team, and they're hoping to try and get that corrected here tonight as they take on North Bend. They trailed 30-8 at halftime, and he mentioned in the second and third quarters they really started to turn things around, and they did. They weren't trailing by much after those second and third quarters if you only looked at those 2 quarters of play, but unfortunately they play 4 quarters in the game, and so Roseburg falling in that matchup 53-20, a team that is going to continue to find its way throughout this season. In fact, no seniors on this team this year for Roseburg, as we've talked about plenty of times before. Looking at the schedule coming up, they've got a home game at the end of the season against Ashland that normally would be your senior night, but I guess they won't have that opportunity for Roseburg this year with no seniors on the roster for head coach Chad Smith. One of the games that they did play while they were away from home, since the last time we saw this Roseburg girls team, was on the road against Ashland, one that actually pretty competitive ball game there. Final score was 45-31. That was the closest loss of the season for this Roseburg team, and that is the team they will play on that final game of the season for what would normally be senior night. Of course, as mentioned, no seniors on the team, so that won't be the case, but could be a chance for Roseburg here at home in what has been their closest game of the season to try and get the better of Ashland here at home to finish out the year and finish things out on a positive note. So that'll be something to look forward to as the schedule continues on here in 2021. Joey Keyran with you from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium as we count down towards tip-off. Roseburg and North Bend getting ready to square off. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Tim's Appliance at the corner of Lane and South Stevens and Roseburg. 0% financing, always available. Also brought to you by the Smile Station, your destination for aesthetically crafted smiles, and by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans, now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or give them a call at 672-5701. We'll have a look at those starting lineups coming up here in just a little bit as we count down towards the start of tonight's ball game. All right, so we've got a couple of minutes here left to go before we get into this final break for the national anthem, and so I will share the story that I just learned. We will take a look at your starting lineups, but some of the names that we'll take a look at the starting lineups in a bit, but some of the names that you might see throughout the season throughout the night for this North Bend basketball team. A popular one is the last name Riddle, and finding out that, yes, they are all related. There are 3 Riddles on the team, all of them freshmen, and quite the interesting storyline just in the fact that they're part of what is almost a quadruplet, a surrogacy for the family, but the mother, the biological mother, also getting pregnant at the same time. So 4 kids coming out all around the same time. Pretty stinking cool for that family. I'm sure more than they were bargaining for, but it's pretty awesome to see. And they're all on the basketball team here tonight. 3 freshmen. You've got Lennon Riddle, you've got Mira Riddle, and you've got Ayla Riddle for the North Bend Bulldogs. Kind of a crazy story there to hear that all of them coming out together. That is pretty crazy on that story for the North Bend Bulldogs. North Bend, as they make their way here, I don't know how you really transition from that story. Coach Mike Forrester sharing some of that information as I was down there talking to him about his team. But transitioning the best we can, North Bend does come in. They're a 5A school, as I mentioned that a little bit earlier there. Roseburg has been playing a couple of 5A schools, Crater, Ashland, Eagle Point on the schedule this year with the makeshift Southern Oregon Conference that they've been doing. North Bend, a 5A school, though, they've been kind of in no man's land, it seems like, playing schools from as far down as the 1A classification, playing powers at the start of the season. They've played 2A schools, they've played 3A schools, they've played 4A schools. They have had a 5A game on their schedule against Willamette. They did lose that game 42-24 in that matchup against the Wolverines. That's the only other 5A or 6A team that North Bend has played. So Roseburg, a 6A program. Not that necessarily the classification always determines how good a team is going to be. Bases, just because Roseburg 6A doesn't mean that they will be a winner tonight against a 5A team. But it does sometimes have a bit of an impact on the rosters that teams are able to put together. And Roseburg, a 6A program, it'll be the first 6A school that North Bend faces this season. So for Roseburg fans, looking at some of the storylines going into this game against the Bulldogs tonight, the fact that they have played a competition from some of the lower classifications throughout much of the season, maybe some sort of inkling as to how Roseburg might find their first win of the year here tonight. All righty, we're going to wrap up our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We'll take our final 2-minute break. When we come back, it'll be time to get into our starting lineups for Roseburg and North Bend. It's a matchup tonight between the Indians and the Bulldogs, and we'll have it for you. This has been the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Back with your starting lineups and your opening tip-off from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. This is Roseburg basketball. Tonight, streaming at 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Current Orthodontics, we stand out because of the smiles and the excitement that we create. A beautiful smile can really make a huge impact in someone's life. Our main goal is we also want you to be able to walk down the street and have your neighbors say, "Hey, where did you get that great smile?" And for you to be able to say, "At Current Orthodontics."
Welcome you back here to Roseburg High School for tonight's matchup. Joey Keyrand here with you, everybody, as we look forward to bringing you Roseburg girls basketball tonight against North Bend. As we get ready for tonight's matchup, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. We will start out. We forgot to put in, for those watching, forgot to put in the numbers for the North Bend Bulldogs, so we'll just run through that here real quick, and then we'll get you the Roseburg starters in just a second. We'll start off with North Bend. Adriana Frank, a junior at 5'8", will get the start. Caitlin Anderson, a 5'5" senior. Haley Reeves, a 5'6" junior. Trinity Barker, a sophomore at 5'8", and Kylie Lambert, a junior at 5'7". Now time for the Roseburg girls. Getting the start tonight will be Emily Morello, the freshman, along with Amy Carpenter, a sophomore. A sophomore, Hayden Pinard, starting, along with junior Chelsea Miller, and Emma Murphy will round out your starting five for head coach Chad Smith and the Roseburg girls. As we get ready to go for the opening tip, tonight's ball game brought to you by Current Orthodontics. A healthy, attractive smile means confidence inside and out. Call Dr. Peterson at 541-672-5721. Get things underway here. It'll be the visiting team's basketball on the opening quote-unquote tip. North Bend moving left to right in their brown jerseys with the yellow numbers on the front and the back. A three from the top is off the line for Trinity Barker, the sophomore, pulling the trigger on the opening shot for the Bulldogs. Roseburg in the white home jerseys, moving right to left on your radio dial. Orange numbers on the front and the back, outlined in black. To the far side of the floor, Murphy with it. Out to the top, Murphy will swing it as they bring it to the near side at the left wing. Pinard out to the top. Miller going to try the three, front iron. It clanks off, and pulling down the rebound is Adriana Frank. And Roseburg will head back on defense as the Bulldogs will have the defensive board. Barker with it, right side, at the wing, to the top, between the circles for Frank. They work it to the left side of the floor. Looking underneath Anderson, can't find anybody against the man-to-man zone from Roseburg. Out at the top with it, Lambert. Left side again, Reeves tries to attack, cut off. Pinard right on top of her with the defense as Roseburg stops him from penetrating. We're a minute 15 into this first quarter, scoreless still so far. Out at the top to the right side, Anderson at the wing, out beyond the perimeter. So far, North Bend hasn't found a path to get through the middle of this defense as they continue to cut through. Trying to drive in, Reeves cut off baseline by Pinard, picks up her dribble, tries to pass away, and it's taken. Emma Murphy with the steal for Roseburg after the turnover forced by Pinard. At the top, Morello. Couple of dribbles, pounds the rock to the right side, gets it to Murphy. Excuse me, that is Miller. Now around to the left side. Murphy will get it in the corner. She dribbles out to the top with the right hand, marked closely by Reeves. They go with a 2-3 zone here from North Bend. Morello will find Pinard on the left side, cutting to the baseline corner, and the near side is Carpenter. So they reset and work it around. Both teams patient with their offense. A turnaround jumper from the right elbow off the mark for Carpenter. Both teams being patient with the offensive flow, looking for their opportunities. And that is wearing down the clock. Trying to attack through the left side of the lane. Barker shot off the mark. And down with the rebound is Roseburg. Murphy will push it up the floor in transition. She pulls it back out between the circles. To the right side for Emily Morello. Transitioning around a head fake, driving left side, nearly traveled and will get called for. It didn't get to keep the plant foot down for Emma Murphy. Thought about trying to, I think, go underneath to Carpenter, then thought better of it and wanted to pass it back out around the perimeter to Pinard and couldn't keep the feet on the ground. Still a 0-0 ball game here with 5:16 to play in the first quarter. Right side, Anderson into the corner, pass it away to Frank out to the top. With it, Barker looking to try and, I think, pull up for that three. She doesn't take it into the corner for Frank. Right back to Barker. Barker dribbling, left hand, jump stop in the lane, puts up a shot. It's off the mark, but a foul. Whistle will stop play. The foul goes against Amy Carpenter.
Foul against Amy Carpenter.
Carpenter will pick up her first, and it's a shooting foul, sending Trinity Barker to the free throw line for a chance to get points on the board the first time tonight. First one clinks off, no good. Roseburg basketball here on 541radio.com, and on the score is presented by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Second one goes through. First point on the board. 1-0 the score, and a travel in the backcourt. First points on the board. 1-0 lead for North Bend. Roseburg turns the ball over. Nearly pulling away a steal was Murphy. Then as Anderson got the ball back into her hands, Murphy called for the reach in. She'll pick up her first. And a timeout down on the floor by North Bend with 4:47 to go here in the first quarter. We'll keep it right here as we'll wait for the media timeout here in just a few. 4:55 was the mark in the first quarter here. And that was the first points we got in the game on the free throw made there by Trinity Barker, 1 of 2 from the line. She was 0 for 2 from the floor. Prior to that, she had been put up the only 2 shots in the game for North Bend prior to the free throw. On the other side, 0 for 2 so far for Roseburg on shots by Amy Carpenter and Chelsea Miller. Roseburg will continue to look for that possession that can get them underneath. They've been doing pretty good the times that we've been seeing them here. When they get an opportunity to try and drive to the basket and get underneath, they've been able to do some good things there. We'll look to see if Hayden Pinard can try and continue to attack underneath along with Amy Carpenter. Those two have been able to do a nice job down near the basket. Tonight's game brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Out of the timeout, 1-0 score. North Bend with the basketball to the right elbow, backing her way in. Kick back out for Anderson, driving through the left side. That was Kylie Lambert with the 2-point bucket to make it 3-0 North Bend. Pressure in the backcourt as they try to trap Roseburg. And they will get it up the floor, but a shuffle of the feet for Amy Carpenter gives the ball back to the Bulldogs. Offense starting to go a little bit here for North Bend as they attacked out of that last timeout. Now with the ball up the floor. The clock had not started, I guess, on the inbound, and now they will get it reset. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the first. North Bend on top, 3-0. With it is number 3, Caitlin Anderson. Hands it off, driving in the lane. Too short with the runner for Adriana Frank. And on the attempt for the rebound, a whistle. And it is going to go against North Bend. Haley Reeves called for the foul. Her first team foul for North Bend. Hayden Pinard going to try and inbound. She's got to go somewhere with it. We'll get it into Amy Carpenter. Full court press here from North Bend. Roseburg a chance to break it. Pinard behind the back dribble, and they will get into the half court just ahead of the 10-second count. Miller to the far side for Morello. She dribbles it back out as they reset on the left side of the floor. Cutting into the corner is Carpenter. Looking underneath, the baseline cutter not open. Miller trying to work through that 2-3 zone. She cuts to the far corner, looking for Carpenter underneath, calling for it, doesn't get it, kicks back out to Miller. A 3 off the mark, fighting for the rebound. Carpenter will pull it in. Miller 0 for 2 from behind the arc. A shot from the top, along 2 from Murphy. Looked like it might have been a piece of it gotten by North Bend. Her shot was off the mark, and the rebound comes down to the Bulldogs. Out to the top, Barker with it, straight away between the circles, dribbles right side. Anderson, that is Adriana Frank with a deep 3 for the first three-pointer of the night. Makes it a 6-0 lead for North Bend. 3:05 to play here in this first quarter. Murphy to the near side, Pinard into the corner for Carpenter. Out to the top, it got tipped by the defense. Gets to Murphy, though. Pinard left side. Looking underneath. The cutters keep going through the zone, but just can't find that open spot. Right side, a 3 from Murphy. Too long. Rebound comes out to the free throw line, pulled down by Barker. She'll press it up the floor, finds a teammate on the left side, cutting to the basket. Off the mark for Lambert and knocked out of bounds, going to Roseburg. 2:38 to play here in the first quarter. It's substitution. Jocelyn Montefiore will come into the game, and with 2:38 to go, I thought we would get the media timeout, but there it is. There we go. So we'll go ahead and take a 30-second timeout with our score 6-0 North Bend in front of Roseburg. 2:38 to play. This is Roseburg Girls Basketball on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Free at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Buy one signature service oil change at regular price and receive a coupon for a second one free. That's a $43.99 value. The signature service oil change features up to 5 quarts conventional Pennzoil, a new spin-on filter, and a visual inspection of belts, brakes, tires, and wipers, plus fluid top-off and a 90-day top-off guarantee. Buy one signature service oil change with Pennzoil, get one free now at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube, next to Champion Car Wash.
2:38 to play here in the first quarter of tonight's ball game. This one has been brought to you by Dr. Alanson Randall. Open and accepting new patients. Call 541-378-6694. And don't forget, video streaming of Roseburg High Sports here during the Season 4 is your typical winter sports, but video streaming is presented by BTB Moving. They provide labor services for your moving needs. They're veteran-owned, affordable, dependable, efficient, and careful. They can help you here in Roseburg, here in Douglas County, or around the state of Oregon. They are willing to go where you need them. They have senior and veteran discounts available. Book now at 541-315-0122. You can also find them on Facebook and get in touch with them there at BTB Moving. Out of the timeout, the media timeout there under the first dead ball after 4 minutes. Roseburg with the basketball. Inbound goes to Morello. Nearly lost it, but she's able to track it back down. She'll dribble it up the floor. Not much pressure from North Bend in the backcourt. Jocelyn Montefiore looking underneath, trying to get it to Micaiah McClatcher. She was able to juggle the ball around, able to keep it, put up a shot, but it was off the mark. Rebound down to North Bend. And in transition, McClatcher tipping it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. But some nice defense there from McClatcher. She catches up and stops the transition attempt from North Bend. They'll inbound from their own baseline. The Bulldogs with it. Lob out to the top. Therefore, it is Barker. The Bulldogs lead 6-0. 2:12 to go here in the first. A three from Frank rattles out, but the rebound, offensive board, the bucket, and a foul for Kylie Lambert. Adriana Frank missed on the three-pointer, but right there for the board was Lambert. Goes back up and gets contact as she goes up. Her shot circled around the rim and dropped through. It's an 8-0 lead for North Bend. Looking to add to it is Lambert. And her rainbow shot will fall through. Makes it 9-0. North Bend in front with 2:04 to play first quarter. Roseburg trying to get some points before the quarter comes to an end. Bernard trying to help break the press. Lob to the near side. Morello's got to get it across. She will. A bounce past the other side as Roseburg runs the break, but it's too strong from Carpenter. That was the way they wanted that to go. It just didn't want to fall. A perfect press break there from Roseburg. Driving through the lane. Kick out long two for North Bend is good. Haley Reeves for two. And it's an 11-0 score. North Bend in front of Roseburg. 1.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. We'll keep it right here at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. While we have you here, let you know that tonight's contest brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Tonight's game also brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling and by Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Well, we've got Roseburg High girls basketball on the radio for you here tonight. Coming up tomorrow, it's the home opener for the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. Doc's baseball was on the video stream last night as we had Roseburg boys basketball on the radio for you. Tomorrow, though, we will have Roseburg Dr. Stewarts baseball on the radio. Our pregame coverage will start at 5:45. His first pitch coming up tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Roseburg welcomes in Medford, looking for a little bit of revenge after losing 9-2 last night against the Medford Mustangs down in Medford. So look forward to that one. Come on out and catch a ball game here this summer with Doc Stewart's baseball. And if you can't make it to the ballpark, we've got you covered. Doc's baseball on the Score, as well as you can also find Doc's baseball on 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel to continue following live coverage of Roseburg High and Doc Stewart's baseball throughout the season. Out of the timeout, it is Roseburg basketball. They trail 11-0. They've had a couple of good looks, but haven't been able to get them to fall. Facing a full court pressure here from North Bend. Inbound from Bernard gets to Morello. Had a defender right on her, Barker there, but she races it up the floor, dribbles behind the back, and gets it into the half court. Bernard, left side, into the corner for McClatcher. She'll drive baseline, goes up with a shot too far underneath, but there for the offensive board is Amy Carpenter. She gets the first points of the game for Roseburg at the 1:20 mark here in the first quarter. Carpenter makes it an 11-2 score. Barker with it, dribbles left side. Lambert wanted to pass left side, now does, and Frank will send it back to the top as they reset. Driving left side, Barker sets up a screen, driving around it, Frank, back out to the top. Anderson driving in, too strong with her shot. And the rebound came down to Roseburg. A jump ball called. The arrow favors Roseburg. They will get it back with 52.2 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bernard gets it to Morello. Morello going to race it up the floor. She'll weave through traffic into the half court. To Bernard, left side, looking for McClatcher in the corner. Now bounces it to the elbow to Carpenter. Head fake, driving in. Morello back out, along two from Bernard is good. Hayden Bernard flushes one through. 11-4, 31 seconds to go in the first. Out at the top, Anderson handling the basketball to Barker between the circles. Dribbles once, goes left side to the baseline, circles back out into the corner. She'll launch a three. Front iron, no good. A little short. Pinard down with the rebound. She's got time, 11 seconds, and counting. Pinard into the half court. Morello left side at the wing, 6 seconds. McClatcher a three, too long. Rebound underneath, and it's lost by Frank out of bounds. Roseburg will have it with 3.5 seconds. No, they turned that into a North Bend basketball. Ball rolls in, 3.5 seconds. Nearly stripped by Morello. A half-court shot is going to hit the front iron. No good by Trinity Barker. And at the end of one quarter, it is 11-4. North Bend in front of Roseburg. We'll come back with your second quarter after this 60-second break on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
8 minutes on the clock as we welcome you back here to Stuart W. Robertson. 11-4 our score. The North Bend girls leading Roseburg right now by 7. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop, and by Cascade Community Credit Union. JV game earlier, a tight one. I thought almost had a chance to go into overtime, but it was North Bend winning in the JV game in regulation, 30-27, the final score in that one. Still moving left to right on your radio dial. North Bend will have the basketball to start the second quarter. Our Adriana Frank driving in. Her runner is too strong. Rebound pulled down by Morello. She was able to keep it away from Frank, who was trying to battle for her own board. Morello brings it up the floor, right side. Jocelyn Montefiore into the corner to McClatcher. McClatcher back out to the top as they work it around the perimeter to the left side for Roseburg. Back underneath to the freshman. McClatcher driving in, goes for the scoop shot, and will draw a foul against North Bend. And is it a shooting foul is the question. It is. 2-shot foul. That one goes against Kylie Lambert, I believe. It looks like the scoreboard says in the sun, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. But looks like it's against Lambert, and it looks like it's her second, which is big there. She's the leading scorer after one with 5 points, but picking up 2 fouls. First free throw did not go for Micaiah McClatcher, but her second one falls. 11-5 with 30 seconds ticked away here in the second quarter. Bringing the ball up the floor will be Caitlin Anderson. Picks up speed as she gets into the half court. Tosses it to her teammate, Adriana Frank, who lost a handle on it. Her dribble just lost, and then Roseburg almost gets it right back, but able to get back on the basketball into the game. Riley Molsick, she comes in. She has been, I think, out for a little bit with an ankle injury, and she is back into the game, and now driving baseline, a whistle offensive foul called against Micaiah McClatcher. Roseburg will turn the ball over, trailing by 6.
Foul against Chelsea Miller.
Bringing the ball up the floor. They now give the foul to Miller. I believe it was McClatcher that got that whistle, but they put Miller up on the scoreboard. Jump stop at the left elbow, pass back out, driving in Barker, back out to the top. Into the game has come Liz Marr. She's a new substitute in, and I think a whistle. She's going to pick up her first foul, an offensive away from the ball, setting an illegal screen. So Liz Marr, the senior, will pick up a foul on her first couple of seconds into the ball game. Our score 11-5, 6:45 to go in the first half. Jocelyn Montefiore will draw a foul from Trinity Barker.
Foul against Trinity Barker.
As Roseburg getting a little aggressive there in the backcourt. Montefiore trying to bring the ball up against that full court press, having to deal with some tight pressure. Montefiore left side, pump fake, goes into the corner for McClatcher, back out to the top. Molsick to the far side, Morello with it. Morello, the freshman, dribbles to the top. A long two and a bump, a hard bump by Barker on Molsick as she lets that one go. And Riley Molsick able to get it to fall. 2 points there, back to a 4-point game. Things getting a little aggressive out there, some physical nature of the play. Out at the top with it, Barker drives into the middle, had her shot redirected. It went right to her teammate, Kylie Lambert. Her shot doesn't fall. The ball tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Bulldogs. 4-point game with 6:07 to play in the first half. Got it inbound. It goes out to the top to Marr. The senior driving right hand, goes to the free throw line. Pass tip, gets to Lambert. Got tipped, but Kylie Lambert still able to get it. She puts it through. 13-7, still full court pressure from North Bend. Montefiore dribbles around it, weaving through traffic, and things will clear out as North Bend drops back into the half court. And Miller brings it across the timeline. Left side, and a travel called. Montefiore tried to go with the head and shoulder fake and shuffled the feet in the process. Hayden Pinard will come into the game for Makai McClatcher. Pinard checking in. She has 2 points after the first quarter. Pinard and Carpenter were your leading scorers after one for Roseburg. Out at the top, Barker going to drive left side, cut off by Miller. Gets it to Marr. Marr driving right side. Had a nice move, got to the rim, could not finish. The lay-in rolls right off the front of the iron. Montefiore with it right side. Defense Anderson right in front of her. That zone defense from North Bend has been tough. A launch at three by Morello, no good. Got her own rebound. Trapped underneath. She'll get it back out to Pinard, and another look for Roseburg. Miller in the right corner, out to the top. Molsick will get it to Montefiore. Morello to Pinard in the left corner, and they will rotate it around the floor to the far side. Montefiore into the corner for Miller. Looking for those cutters on the left wing. Morello into the corner for Pinard. Trying to bounce it underneath, and stepping right in front was Barker. She takes it away. Lost a handle on the basketball, but able to pick it up and underhand toss to Marr as she brings it into the front court. Barker gets it between the circles, setting up the offense. Goes right side, into the corner for Adriana Frank, who lost a handle on it. Frank will commit the turnover. Miller got the steal, then off from the ground, able to get it to Morello, who will bring it up the floor. Molsick with it left side. Pinard, bounce pass back out to the top. Montefiore wanted to go underneath, but she pulls it back in. They work it to Miller on the far corner. Just around the perimeter now, a three, an open look from Jocelyn Montefiore. She puts it through, and Roseburg into double figures, down by 3, 13-10 with 3:53 to go in the first half. Montefiore had the only three for Roseburg in the loss against Grants Pass. She hits that one there. A three from Barker on the other side, off the mark for North Bend, and down with it was Morello. A one shot and a defensive board for Roseburg. Nice defensive stand. Molsick at the top. No-look pass right side to Morello. To Miller in the corner. They'll work it down to the left side. A long two from Molsick. And she will get Roseburg within one. She's got 2 field goals. It's 13-12. Roseburg back within a point. Here in this second quarter, they've been outscoring North Bend 8-2. Out at the top, a three is no good. Rebound long, tipped out. It'll go to Pinard. She goes down. She had Marr all over her after the miss by Anderson. Marr tries to catch up and poke it away from Molsick, but can't do it. Miller, Montefiore out to the top, Morello. left side. Bolsick wanted to step into a shot, but the defense closes quickly. Now Montefiore will. Her three is good! Jocelyn Montefiore off the bench with 2 threes, and Roseburg's on top by 2. They lead 15-13 with 2:35 to go. A 3 trying to answer out the top for Barker, no good, but a foul on the board. Pulling it in was Lambert, and she'll draw the foul from Roseburg. With 2:29 to go here in the first half, a media timeout will take it. 15-13, Roseburg in front of North Bend. We'll take the 30-second timeout and be back after this on 541radio.com and on The Score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Jonathan from Off the Wall on The Score. When I'm not in the Score Sports Closet, I own and operate BTV Moving here in Roseburg. We are a labor-only company offering services such as packing, unpacking, loading, unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. We pride ourselves on being an affordable, veteran-owned company. Contact us at 541-315-0122 for all your moving needs. That's BTV Moving, 541-315-0122.
2:29 to go here in the second quarter. Joey Kieran with you from Roseburg High School and the Roseburg girls basketball team. Right now in the second quarter, outscoring North Bend by a score of 11-2, and that has brought them back from a deficit in the first quarter, and now back they're in the lead here tonight. They have not had many times where Roseburg girls have been in front, but they have rallied their way back after a tough start to the ball game tonight. Roseburg didn't score their first points until a minute 20 to go in the first quarter, but they have come alive here in the second. The offense finding its groove, and they have pulled ahead by 2. Stick around. We'll have a first half recap for you coming up during the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show, so stick around for that. And remember, we will name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game for the Roseburg girls at the conclusion of tonight's ball game. Out of the timeout, inbounding out to the top, lobbing the pass out there for Keia Morris. She's come into the game. Morris will get it right side. Got a double dribble call against Keia Morris. She'll turn it over for North Bend. They've got Morris out there also into the game. Avery Pex is checked in. So the bench getting utilized a bit here for Coach Mike Forrester. You've got Marr, Morris, Pex, Frank, and Reeves out there for North Bend. Driving shot by McClatcher, no good. Fight for the rebound, tipped around. That ball was like a hot potato. Nobody wanted to pull it in, and now a foul as the ball was tipped out towards the top of the key. And Riley Molsick will pick up the foul on a reach-in. Emma Murphy will check in for Emily Morello, who heads to the bench for Roseburg. For Roseburg on the floor, Emma Murphy, Riley Molsick, Amy Carpenter, Micaiah McClatcher, and Jocelyn Montefiore. Your 5 here in this final couple of minutes of the first half. Shot in is blocked by Roseburg. Defense coming up with the stop. McClatcher will bring it up the floor. Dribbles right, back to her left. Murphy called for a travel. Surprised to see the floor as open as it was. She shuffled the feet as she wanted to try and attack. She'll turn it over back to North Bend. It's a 2-point ball game, 15-13 your score. A minute 39 to go in the first half. Morris brings it up the floor. Marr will get it at the top. Driving right side into the corner for Frank. Around the screen, she dribbles to the top, gets it back to Morris. Marr in the corner now, a 3 for North Bend, rattles off, but there for the rebound is Morris, one of the smallest players on the floor. She sneaks in there for the board. Out at the top, handing it off to Reeves, driving in. Morris gets it, sidesteps the defender, lay in, rolls off the iron, and Carpenter pulls in the rebound. Murphy brings it through the center circle for Roseburg. Left side to Jocelyn Montefiore. Gets it to McClatcher, wanted to drive, instead dumps it underneath to Carpenter, who will pick up the foul against North Bend. Roseburg basketball. Not quite into the bonus yet. I believe that'll be the fourth against North Bend. Heading to the bench will go Reeves. I believe she's got 2 personal. McClatcher will inbound from underneath her own hoop. Gets it into the corner to Montefiore. Jocelyn going to drive left-hand baseline. Back out along 2 from McClatcher. No good. Swiping at the basketball. Murphy can't knock it out of the hands of Adriana Frank, who pulls down the rebound. North Bend will bring it up. 41 seconds. Right through the lane. Drawing a foul will be Caitlin Anderson. She'll head to the free throw line with a chance to tie it up. The foul is going to be against Jocelyn Montefiore. 39.7 seconds to go as Anderson will go to the line. First one off the right side of the iron, no good. Second free throw for the junior. Right-handed shooter, short, rebound, pulled in by Carpenter. Up the floor with 35 seconds to go for Roseburg. Could hear head coach Chad Smith saying plenty of time. So Roseburg, I think, would like to ideally work through their offense for either an easy look or the final shot of the first half. They lead by 2. 19 seconds to go, clock ticking down. Carpenter picks it up at the right wing. Bounce down to McClatcher now on the left side. Back out to Mulsick. Mulsick, couple of dribbles, gets it to Montefiore. Down to 8 seconds to play. Carpenter underneath. McClatcher going to go up underneath. She puts up a shot, forced it up through the defense, and draws the foul. Wasn't going to be a very good look at a shot, but she drew the contact, knowing that she could get the 2 free throws. McClatcher will head to the line looking for a couple of free throws here to extend the lead, and she'll hit the first. Roseburg lead 16-13, the largest it's been all night. Second free throw, McClatcher unable to get it. Rebound tipped around, whistle, point, and it is North Bend basketball with 1.4 seconds to go. Roseburg will put some full court pressure on, trying to get North Bend to start the clock. Inbound to Frank. She'll launch a 3/4 court shot well off the mark. And that is how things will come to an end here in the first half. At the break, Roseburg leading 16-13. A big second quarter as they outscore North Bend 12-2. We'll have a full recap of the first half for you when we come back. It's Roseburg girls basketball as we head to the halftime break. A 2-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
From Off the Wall on the Score. When I'm not in the Score Sports Closet, I own and operate BTV Moving here in Roseburg. We are a labor-only company offering services such as packing, unpacking, loading, unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. We pride ourselves on being an affordable, veteran-owned company. Contact us at 541-315-0122 for all your moving needs. That's BTV Moving, 541-315-0122.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about
Welcome back, everybody, to Roseburg High School for tonight's Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins with great low rates. Give them a call at 673-0363. Joey Kieran here with you as we recap the first half. Roseburg leading at the break 16-13, and unless there was that game against Ashland that maybe it's a possibility. It was the closest game of the season, but I would venture a guess that this is the first time Roseburg has led at the halftime break this season. A huge second quarter gets them to that point. The first quarter, not a great start for either team. Starting it out, North Bend got the first points of the game on free throws. A free throw by Trinity Barker got North Bend a 1-0 lead with 4:55 to go in the first quarter. That's 3 minutes and 5 seconds of the game clock ticked off before the first points were on the board for either team. They were able to build the lead out to, I did not note it down, and I will have to watch it back on the video stream. I'm sure I said it on there, and you guys might know in the listening audience, but we believe it was about an 8-point lead for North Bend in that first quarter at 8-0 before Roseburg got points on the board. With a minute 20 to go, they finally got their first points in the game, and at the end of one, it was 11-4 in favor of North Bend. But in the second quarter, Roseburg outscores the Bulldogs 12-2 as they put on a huge second quarter, and going a little bit cold were the Bulldogs, and Roseburg able to rally their way back in. They take the lead with 2:37 to go in the first half. Roseburg gets the lead on a three-pointer by Jocelyn Montefiore, and that put them up 15-13 at the time. They would add one more before the break, and they are on top, 16-13 here at your halftime break. We'll go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at individual scoring from the first half of tonight's ball game. It is the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. Roseburg leading 16-13 on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Kern Orthodontics, we stand out because of the smiles and the excitement that we create. A beautiful smile can really make a huge impact in someone's life. Our main goal is we also want you to be able to walk down the street and have your neighbors say, "Hey, where did you get that great smile?" And for you to be able to say, "At Kern Orthodontics."
Heading towards the second half, we'll have that for you coming up here in just a bit. But before we wrap up our Cooper's Pest Control halftime show, let's take a look at individual scoring from the first half of tonight's ball game. We'll first check things out for the visiting North Bend Bulldogs. For the girls from North Bend, leading the way with 7 points is Kylie Lambert. She had 5 in the first quarter and scored the only points of the second quarter for North Bend. 7 points for her, 3 points for Adriana Frank, 2 points in the game for Haley Reeves, a point for Trinity Barker as well. On the other side for Roseburg, leading the way with 6 points in the first half on 2 made threes in the second quarter is Jocelyn Montefiore. Then you have 4 points for Riley Molsick, all in the second quarter. 2 points for Amy Carpenter, 2 points for Hayden Pinard, 2 points for Micaiah McClatcher. And that is your scoring from the first half of tonight's ball game. Second half action going to be coming up for us here in just a moment. We'll go ahead and take our final break and wrap things up with the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. We'll come back. Third quarter action for you. Roseburg leading 16-13 on 541radio.com and on the score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Roseburg basketball at home tonight, leading 16-13 as we begin the second half. Tonight's game brought to you by Dr. Lanson Randall. Open and accepting new patients. Call them at 541-378-6694. And by Chuck's Warm and Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? And don't forget our sponsors at Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Well, a nice first half for Roseburg. We'll see if they can carry that momentum into the second half here against North Bend. North Bend trying to win their 7th game on the season. Roseburg looking to get their first here tonight. Starting on the floor for Roseburg in the third quarter, Hayden Pinard, Emily Morello. You've got Emma Murphy, Chelsea Miller, and Amy Carpenter. That is your original starting 5 on the floor for Roseburg. Out there for North Bend, Caitlin Anderson, Trinity Barker. You've got Haley Reeves out there, Adriana Frank, and also Kylie Lambert. Your original starting 5 will start out there for North Bend as well. Roseburg starts with the basketball, moving left to right on your radio dial in their home whites. Attacking this 2-3 zone from North Bend that continues to shift from one side of the floor to the other. Bernard has it on the right wing, out to the top, as Roseburg continues to make North Bend chase him around, bouncing the ball around the perimeter. Morello to the top to Bernard, near side, Murphy, into the corner for Carpenter, back out to the top. Go to the free throw line. Morello there with it, but she'll revert right back out. Gets it to Murphy, who will try to charge right into the defense. Her shot no good. Miller with the rebound and a putback and a whistle. They're going to call a push against North Bend. It goes against Trinity Barker on the rebound attempt. Roseburg will keep it. Inbound goes to Carpenter. Gets it to Murphy, drives in, out for a 3. Morello, shot off the right iron, no good. Carpenter, the offensive board, puts it back up. The rebound tipped by Miller underneath. Carpenter got it, a whistle. And I'm thinking maybe a chance at free throws. Yes, Carpenter will head to the free throw line.
Isabel Stribling. At the line for
The foul will...
Amy Carpenter at the line for Roseburg.
They called the foul against one of Roseburg's players who's on the bench, as Amy Carpenter will miss the front end of the free throws. So Isabel Stribling was not who that was against. I'm not sure who they would have been thinking for North Bend. Amy Carpenter gets 1 and 2 from the line. extends Roseburg lead to 4. And now it's 17-13 with 1:05 ticked away here in the third quarter. Left side, Kylie Lambert spins around, now drives and gets hacked as she goes in for a lay-in. And this will be a shooting foul. It goes against Emma Murphy.
Foul against Chelsea Miller.
Or against Chelsea Miller, I guess. So that'll be the second for Miller. I thought I saw 1-5 being put up by the official, and apparently I was wrong. At the line, Kylie Lambert missing the front end. Roseburg basketball tonight brought to you by Current Orthodontics. A healthy, attractive smile means confidence inside and out. Call Dr. Peterson at 672-5721. Empty trip to the free throw line for Kylie Lambert. Missing both of them there. Stays a 4-point lead for Roseburg at 17-13, their largest lead of the night. It has been a quiet night for North Bend since that 11-point first quarter. To the right side, Emma Murphy will get it to Pinard for a long two from straight away. It's just off the back of the iron and a travel on the rebound. Kylie Lambert got it and then shuffles her feet as she goes to the floor. I think she comes up with a confused look on her face, wanting a foul on that one, saying she got knocked down, but she won't get that whistle. Instead, a travel gives the ball back to Roseburg. Murphy going to try a three from the left wing, and it's good. Roseburg with 3 3-pointers in this one so far tonight. 2 minutes away, and Roseburg's on top by 7, 20-13. Right side with it, Lambert. Frank will have it at the top. Straight away between the circles to the left side with it. Now Anderson. Chest pass out to the top. They work it to the right side. Frank with it. One-handed pass to Barker. She skips it to the near side. With it, Reeves wanting to attack but does not use the dribble to do so. Barker out at the top. Back to Anderson. Roseburg working their man-to-man defense. Around a screen, Morello closing in on Frank. She passes it away. Driving right side, Anderson gets the bucket and a foul. A little bit of momentum there for North Bend. They'll get the 2 points and a chance to make it 3. Anderson to the line, her first points of the night. She is 0 for 1 from the free throw line so far. Pinard and Murphy will check out of the game as Sydney Montefiore and Jocelyn Montefiore will check into the game. Makai McClatcher will check in as well after the free throw, which is good for Anderson. So a 3-point play there for Caitlin Anderson. Makai McClatcher checks in for Chelsea Miller. 5:26 to play in the third quarter. Back to a 4-point game. Montefiore, Sydney gets it. Back to Jocelyn. Jocelyn back to Sydney. They work the 2-man weave, and then now to Morello up the floor. Morello driving baseline, left side, out to McClatcher for a 3. Front iron, no good. Carpenter, the offensive board. And Amy Carpenter for 2. Carpenter now with 5 in the ball game. 22-16. Roseburg in front by 6. Barker with it, right wing, matched by Carpenter. On the balls of her feet, trying to wait for Barker to do something. She just passes it away. Anderson left side. Out to the top, Reeves. They switch the floor to the far side. Now Lambert to the near side. Reeves with it, back out to the top. Trinity Barker, the sophomore. We'll back it back out, and they'll reset this half-court offense for the Bulldogs. Fires it left side. Frank finds the cutter underneath. Lambert from the left side finishes with the right hand, and it's 2 points for Kylie Lambert. She's got 9 in the ball game. 22-18. Pressure in the backcourt again by North Bend. They'll tip it out of bounds, and it'll stay with Roseburg. Inbound from the corner. Hayden Pinard will check back into the game as Makai McClatcher. A quick trip out there on the floor. She'll get some instruction from Coach Chad Smith as she heads to the bench. Jocelyn Montefiore has to get the ball in. A baseball pass down the floor goes out of bounds at the half-court line. Saw Amy Carpenter kind of trickling and leaking out down the floor. Wanted to get it to her, but her pass never does land in bounds. That means the ball will be inbounded from the spot where Jocelyn Montefiore tried to get it in. Their own baseline for North Bend with the basketball, trailing by 4. 22-18 your score. Driving, baseline, Lambert, shot just from underneath is a little bit off the mark, and the rebound pulled down by Pinard. That was a good take there by Kylie Lambert. Just got a little bit too far underneath and couldn't get it up over the top of the rim. In the corner, Carpenter out to Montefiore, Jocelyn to Sydney, and to the far side for Morello. At the left wing, Jocelyn will get it to Sydney, and now they work it to Amy Carpenter in the near corner. Pump fake underneath to Bernard. It wasn't there. Sydney Montefiore will get it, wants to try her chance at driving in. It's not there. They kick it and work it around the far side. Emily Morello driving in. Her runner is just a bit short, might have been tipped. Rebound comes down to North Bend in transition. Right to the rim. Hit as she goes up. Kylie Lambert will draw the foul, and back to the stripe for her. She's coming off of a couple of misses on the last attempt, and she will have a couple more free throws coming her direction. 3:23 to go in the third quarter. Roseburg leading 22-18. North Bend battling their way back in it to keep it close. The media timeout will take it as well. 30 seconds on the timeout, and we'll be back with the remainder of your third quarter action. Roseburg on top of North Bend 22-18 on 541radio.com and on the score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Johnson from Off the Wall on the Score. When I'm not in the Score Sports Closet, I own and operate BTV Moving here in Roseburg. We are a labor-only company offering services such as packing, unpacking, loading, unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. We pride ourselves on being an affordable, veteran-owned company. Contact us at 541-315-0122 for all your moving needs. That's BTV Moving, 541-315-0122.
Back here at Roseburg High School, where the Roseburg girls lead 22-18 over the visiting North Bend Bulldogs. Let's go ahead and pause for a station identification. Roseburg basketball leading 22-18. You're listening to Roseburg High Sports on the Score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. With 3:23 to go here in the third quarter, Roseburg on top by 4. They've led by as many as 7, and heading to the free throw line for North Bend out of the timeout will be Kylie Lambert, leading scorer for the Bulldogs. Lambert, the junior, right-handed shooter, steps up to the foul line, and her first one bounces around and rattles off. She is now 1 for 4 from the stripe, trying to get the second one and make it a 3-point ball game. Second one, back iron, hung up there on the rim and didn't want to fall. Another empty trip to the line for Lambert. Carpenter pulled down the rebound. Morello will bring it up the floor, looking to attack the two defenders right at the top. Pass it away to Jocelyn Montefiore. Pass by Carpenter. She had a double team in front of her. Tosses it right to North Bend. Picking it off, Reeves brings it up the floor. Anderson comes to get it at the top. Left side pass. Lambert with it, looking underneath. Things in the lane, all jammed by the Cutters and Roseburg's defense. 2:51 and counting in the third quarter. Picked up the dribble. Barker had to find somewhere to go for it. She wanted to pass to Anderson, but Anderson wasn't looking for it. She was ready to cut. Barker will now get it back on the left side, out to the top. Frank with it. Right side, Anderson at the wing. Back out to the top, Reeves. Looking towards the rim, pass it away, find the cutter. Anderson underneath, too short with her shot, rebound tipped. It'll go to Roseburg. Kaylin Anderson got too far underneath, and her bunny just a bit short, hitting the underside of the rim and out of bounds. Roseburg basketball tonight brought to you by Tim's Appliance. Out the corner of Lane and South Stevenson, Roseburg, 0% financing is always available. Full court pressure still going for North Bend. A little bit more aggressive this time. Roseburg's got to get it up the floor quickly. Pinard trapped in the backcourt, and she will draw a foul that will bail out Roseburg as they were getting close to the 10-second count. That one goes against Anderson. Morello will get it and bring it across the timeline for Roseburg. Sun starting to get to that magical spot in the window where it peers right into our eyes here in the third quarter at Roseburg High School. Pass stolen away. Roseburg tried to bounce one through the defense. Now on the other side, picking off the pass is Amy Carpenter, going high to snag that one. She'll hand it off to Morello. Emily Morello to Jocelyn Monteferian right side. Carpenter gets it, skips it out to the top from the free throw line. Sydney Monteferian, her shot no good. And down with the rebound is Reeves. Pressing up the floor comes North Bend from behind. Morello will get a jump ball call as she ties up the ball with Haley Reeves, and the possession arrow favors Roseburg. And so it'll be Roseburg basketball. Hayden Pinard checks out of the game, so does Sydney Monteferian. Micaiah McClatcher comes back into the game, so does Emma Murphy. And I guess they've changed the call on the possession arrow. It'll go to North Bend. Inbound goes right to Anderson, and she drives right to, it was Roseburg caught off guard. They just weren't ready after the inbound pass, and Anderson attacks right to the rim. Late adjustment by the Roseburg defense, and they get called for the foul. Anderson will head to the free throw line. She is 1 for 2 from the stripe tonight. Chance to try and cut it down to a one-possession game. She will, hitting the first. Roseburg basketball brought to you by the Smile Station, your destination for aesthetically crafted smiles. The free throw there by Anderson snapped a lengthy drought of scoring for both teams. 1:33 to play in the third quarter. Anderson gets them both. 22-20. We got ourselves a ball game. Roseburg breaking out in transition, attacking right to the rim. Too strong for Morello. The rebound falls into the hands of Kylie Lambert, and she is hit with a arm across as reaching in. Monteferian will get called for the foul. That's Jocelyn. Picking up her third. The ball back to North Bend. Morello, nice job taking it on the transition there for Roseburg, but just could not finish. Out at the top, ball through the hands of Haley Reeves, but she collects it out near midcourt. Down to about a minute to play here in this third quarter. Left side with it, Reeves. They work it around to Frank on the right wing. Adriana Frank, the junior. Pass it around the perimeter. Left side, Lambert with it. Lambert looking underneath. They will revert it to the other side of the floor around the perimeter. 45 seconds to go, third quarter. A chance to tie or take the lead here for North Bend. Reeves pulls it back out. Out to the top to Lambert. 36 seconds still to go in the quarter. Frank, Barker. Lambert with it. Feet on the line. She'll launch a long two and ties it up. Kylie Lambert. She's got 11 points in the ball game. Inbound to Monteferian, 19 seconds. They work the weave up to Morello. Other way we go. Jump stop in the middle of the lane and tipped out of bounds, they say. Touched by Morello. It looked like from our angle, and I think the official from our angle as well agreeing that it looked like last touch by North Bend, but from the other side, the official sees that ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Roseburg. 22-22 ball game. Ties it up as we are wrapping up the third quarter. Anderson brings it up, lost a handle, 5 seconds to go. Barker with it, 3 seconds. Into the corner, Frank catch and shoot three. No good. At the end of the third quarter, it is all square at 22 apiece. And we will come back with the fourth quarter after this 60-second break on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm.
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Come back for the start of the fourth quarter. It's a tight one. We are all tied at 22 apiece in that third quarter. North Bend outscoring Roseburg 9-6. Joey Kieran here with you. Tonight's game brought to you by our friends at Flyway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans, now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or give them a call at 672-5701. And don't forget that Roseburg High Sports is streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Thanks to sponsorship from BTB Moving. They provide labor services for your moving needs in Roseburg, around Douglas County, and the state of Oregon. Veteran-owned, affordable, dependable, efficient, and careful. Senior and veteran discounts are available. Book now at 541-315-0122 or find them on Facebook at BTB Moving. Roseburg will start with the basketball here in the fourth quarter. And they attack from the left side, Riley Molsick. Her shot does not fall, but the ball tipped out of bounds, and it stays with Roseburg. Molsick, McClatcher, and an offensive foul called on Emma Murphy. You've got Molsick, Murphy, McClatcher, Carpenter, and Pinard on the floor for Roseburg to start the fourth quarter in their white home jerseys, moving left to right. In the brown road jerseys, North Bend will bring the ball up the floor, moving right to left. Lambert out there along with Reeves, Anderson, Barker, and Frank, your starting five on the floor for the Bulldogs. With it, Anderson out at the top, gets it to Frank straight away. Left side now, Reeves with it, looking underneath. The cutter was Anderson, open for a split second, but not long enough. Frank will launch a three from the right side, and Adriana Frank hits her second three of the night. That is the second three of the game for North Bend, and they retake the lead 25-22. Pinard's got to get it in the half court, and just in time, Roseburg will get in before the 10-second count. Pinard out to Molsick to Murphy. Uncharted territory for Roseburg so far this season. They have not won a game, and they have a chance to do so here in the fourth quarter, but a turnover taken away by Anderson. She goes right side, her lay-in no good. Fighting for the rebound, Molsick will pull it in. Roseburg will press it up the floor. McClatcher slows it down. Molsick will take it at the top. Murphy, pump fake, drives in, goes right into the body of Kylie Lambert, and Lambert will take the charge. That'll be Emma Murphy on the offensive. Chelsea Miller will check in for Micaiah McClatcher. The freshman will take a seat again on the bench. 25-23 your score. The visiting Bulldogs in front of Roseburg. Anderson handling the point, brings it up the floor to the right side for Barker. She's going to launch a deep three, and it rattles through. Knocks that one down from 3 feet behind the arc, and the ball tipped out on the inbound, stays with Roseburg. That one from downtown for Trinity Barker, her first of the night on her 5th attempt, and that will put North Bend on top by 6. Here in the second half, North Bend has outscored Roseburg 15-6. So far in the second half of this ball game. And here in the fourth quarter, they are out to a 6-0 run on top of Roseburg. A timeout taken by head coach Chad Smith and the Roseburg girls. It gives us a moment to remind you that tonight's game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Also by Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit now at Mahalo Heating and Air. And don't forget about Good Vibrations. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Roseburg girls, they will be on the road at North Medford coming up on Friday night. We'll have coverage of Roseburg boys basketball for you on I-101 FM. On Friday night, there's no Sutherland basketball, and we've got a double up here for Sports on the Score. Docks baseball coming up on Friday as they've got a home doubleheader against the Post 6 Barbers. And the Roseburg boys basketball team also going to be at home that night. So we are going to borrow the airwaves of I-101 FM. And we are going to put the Roseburg boys on I-101 FM there. So we'll have that for you there. Dan Bain will be helping fill in. Dan will have the call on those airwaves. You can find it at 100.7. We'll also have the video stream going at 541radio.com for the Roseburg boys. And then we'll have Docs Baseball also here on the Score, 92.3 FM, and also on the 541radio.com video player. Inbound for Roseburg after the timeout. Got to get into the half court. Riley Mulsick, defensive pressure. She just gets across. Emma Murphy will have it in the half court. Mulsick to the far side for Pinard. Fake underneath Miller. Whips it out to the top, and they bring it around the perimeter. Mulsick, an open look at a three. Rims off the back iron. Carpenter fighting underneath. She rips it away from Avery Pex, and Roseburg will get a second look. Pass out of bounds by Hayden Pinard. Pinard tried driving, got caught midair, had to toss it out, and the pass goes out of bounds. 28-22 the score, North Bend in front. They stormed back in the lead after Roseburg led by as many as 7 in the third quarter. But still a lot of time left, 5.5 to play here in the fourth. Anderson fakes right, goes left, out to Barker, who just drilled that deep three on her last shot. Out to the top, Reeves with it. Barker comes to get it at the right wing. She'll go right against Carpenter. Backs it back out. Nice defense there from Amy. To the top, Anderson. Right-handed dribble, pass it right side. Adriana Frank likes that spot, and it's good for three. Her third of the game, second here in the fourth quarter, and it's now 31-22 lead, a 9-point advantage for North Bend, and a travel on the other side as Roseburg tries to break the press. I believe the largest lead of the night for North Bend as they get that three by Adriana Frank. The three ball dropping here in the fourth quarter. 3 of them for North Bend, putting them up by 9. It's been all threes in the fourth quarter so far for the Bulldogs. Left side with it, Haley Reeves. Jab step, passes it away. Around the perimeter to the right side, Anderson looking underneath. It's just not there. Barker will come to get it. Left side to Frank. One bounce, pass it away to the top. Barker with it against Carpenter. Not going to try and drive. Pass it away. Looking to attack Anderson with the dribble out at the top. And a timeout taken by North Bend. Head coach Mike Forrester will take a moment to have a conversation.
30-second timeout.
With 4:22 to play here in the ball game, it is North Bend leading 31-22. They have had 3 3-pointers fall in here in this fourth quarter. They had been pretty quiet from behind the arc prior to this fourth period. In fact, Adriana Frank had 1 made 3-pointer, and that was it for North Bend on, 4, 5, 9, 10. They were 1 for 10 from behind the arc before they start the fourth quarter, and now they are 3 for 3 here in the period, and that makes them 4 for 13 on the night. On the other side, Roseburg has a couple. Jocelyn Montefiore made a couple of threes in the second period, and then Emma Murphy had 1 in the third, so Roseburg with 3 3-pointers in this game as well. Out of the timeout by North Bend, they'll have the ball on the near sideline, inbounding in their own half court. Inbound goes to Anderson, marked by Morello. Morello dribbles it out to the center circle. Tough defense by Roseburg, and a late whistle on the defense by Riley Mulsick. Thought she maybe had poked that one away, but the whistle will stop the play. I don't think either team is close to the bonus just yet. I can't read the number of fouls for Roseburg. Only, it looks like 3 on the board for North Bend. And actually, they must be in the bonus for Roseburg, or for North Bend, because going to the free throw line will be Haley Reeves. It was definitely not a shooting foul. A 1-and-1 opportunity. No good on the front end, and Pinard pulls down the rebound. 0 for 3 at the line for Haley Reeves. Roseburg looking for their first points of the fourth quarter. Trying to finish They've not been in territory of trying to win a game most of the season. And here they are in the fourth quarter of tonight's ball game with a chance, and a travel called by Chelsea Miller. Should have received the pass and just didn't stop walking. 3:55 to go. And it looks like we will not take the media timeout there. 3:55 to play in the ball game and counting. 31-22 the score. North Bend in front of Roseburg. Out to Barker, driving against Carpenter. Jump stop, baseline, no good. Carpenter boxes her out and pulls down the rebound. Bring it up the floor, 3.5 to go. Roseburg still looking for their first points of the fourth quarter. Jocelyn Montefiore off the bench, tried to get it. Baseline lay-in, almost falls, but it dances on the rim and falls off. 3:20 to go. Barker has it out at the top, hands it off Anderson, driving right side, cut off by Montefiore. Jocelyn marking her close, staying in front of Anderson. Anderson pass, knocked away. Carpenter comes up with the steal. Breakaway, one-on-one. She lays it in. Amy Carpenter with the 2, and Roseburg gets their first points of the fourth quarter. Cut it down to a 7-point margin. 2:54 to go. More tough defense needed for Roseburg. Carpenter out at the top, marking against Barker. Crossover, goes left side. Help defense comes, but a foul against Roseburg, and to the line will go Trinity Barker, where she is 1 for 2 tonight. That one goes against Amy Carpenter. And a timeout down on the floor. 2:46 to play here in the fourth quarter. It is 31-24. North Bend in front of Roseburg. We'll take a 30-second timeout, come back to finish this one off for you. This is Roseburg girls basketball tonight on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Jonathan from Off the Wall on the Score. When I'm not in the Score Sports Closet, I own and operate BTB Moving here in Roseburg. We are a labor-only company offering services such as packing, unpacking, loading, unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. We pride ourselves on being an affordable, veteran-owned company. Contact us at 541-315-0122 for all your moving needs. That's BTB Moving, 541-315-0122.
2 minutes, 45 seconds to go in tonight's ball game between Roseburg and North Bend. Roseburg trailing by 7, 31-24 our score. Tonight's contest been brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop, and by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Stick around in the post-game show. We will name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. And we want to say thanks to our streaming sponsor, BTB Moving. BTB providing labor services for your moving needs. Veteran-owned, affordable, dependable, efficient, and careful. They've got senior and veteran discounts available. You can book now at 541-315-0122 and find them on Facebook at BTB Moving. Roseburg trying to come back for their first win of the season after leading by as many as 7 in the third quarter. At the free throw line, though, is North Bend. It'll be Trinity Barker out of the timeout for 2 free throws, and she'll hit the first. Gets 1. Stretch it back to an 8-point lead, trying to put it back to 9. And she will. Nothing but net for the second free throw. Full court pressure, Roseburg. Passing up the floor. Carpenter gets it. Pressure from the backside. Stolen away by Frank. She got it just before the baseline. And taken away by North Bend. They lead by 9. Anderson drives, gets it to Lambert. Back out to the top. 2:29 to go in the contest. Left side. Mulsick, tough defense on top of Reeves. To the right side. Barker trying to fight through Emily Morello, and a whistle will stop play. They had the sign up on the scoreboard that North Bend was in the bonus. They took it down, but they must be, because once again, it's another non-shooting foul that sends Trinity Barker to the free throw line, and it sounds like now they are in the double bonus, and that'll be an automatic 2 as Barker makes the first. Second free throw is good. 4 for 4 from the line in the fourth quarter for Trinity Barker, and now North Bend leading by 11, their largest mark of the night. Morello, right side, Mulsick into the corner, low pass, able to scoop it up. Carpenter keeps the possession. Montefiore to the left side. Morello back out. Jocelyn will take the three. Need it. It's just a bit short. Front iron bounces off, and Frank will pull down the rebound. North Bend brings it up, 1:45 to go. Driving in, a runner. Too strong by Barker. Rebound in and out of the hands of Adriana Frank. But they'll say that it was Roseburg that tipped it out of her hands and out of bounds. Timeout by North Bend. Here in the closing minute 42 of tonight's ball game. 35-24, 11-point margin, the largest of the game. And this fourth quarter been tough for Roseburg. Second half has definitely not carried the momentum that Roseburg had built in that second quarter when they put 12 points on the board. So far, just 2 here in the fourth quarter. And that was the case against Grants Pass, according to head coach Chad Smith, saying that they didn't start the game great and they didn't finish the game great, but the second and third quarters were good. Second quarter real good for Roseburg here tonight. They were able to build up to a 7-point lead in the third quarter, but they have let North Bend back into this one. As right now the Bulldogs leading 35-24 with 1:42 to go in the ball game. Again, we will have Doc Stewart's baseball coming up for you tomorrow, as we will have coverage from Champion Car Wash Field starting at 5:45 for a single 9-inning game. Tuned in to catch that right here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, and watch it online at 541radio.com. Taking a look at some of your other basketball scores tonight from the NBA. You've got second round action going on in the Eastern Conference. Philadelphia evening up that series in Game 2. The 76ers get a win on top of the Atlanta Hawks, 118-102. And going on right now in Game 1 of a Western Conference matchup between 1 seed Utah and 4 seed Los Angeles Clippers. It is the Clippers on top big over Utah. 57-44 your score with 1.5 minutes to go before halftime in that Western Conference second round matchup between the Jazz and the Clips. Clippers waking up to win Game 7 of their first round series against Dallas, and now out to a big lead in their first game against Utah, the number 1 overall seed. Inbound out of the timeout from their own baseline goes to Adriana Frank. She goes up, gets fouled. She's got a chance at a 3-point play.
Foul against Jocelyn Montefiore.
Montefiore will pick up the foul. And right now it's out to a 13-point lead with Adriana Frank at the line for the first time, trying to make it a 14-point lead, and she will. Free throw goes through, 38-24 the score, and Roseburg loses the ball in the backcourt as Hannah Bowman comes into the game, had it poked out of her hands. 38-24, minute 28 and counting. Anderson retreats back out for North Bend, trying to wear off the clock, but Hannah Bowman takes it away. Tiptoeing down the far sideline, she gets bumped and will draw a foul. And I think we're into the bonus. It should be free throws here. No, not yet. They've got the bonus up there for Roseburg. That's only the 4th foul against North Bend, so the marker up on the scoreboard incorrect. A 3 from Montefiore from the right side, no good and out of bounds, hitting the baseline. North Bend basketball, full court pressure applied by Roseburg. Into the backcourt, Anderson working against Jocelyn. Double team comes, she dribbles around it, will break away into the half court. Montefiore applying the pressure. Anderson dribbling around her to the right side, into the game. Liz Marr has checked in. The senior, one dribble out to the top to Frank. Right side, Lambert with it. Under 60 seconds to play, and it looks like North Bend is going to come back to win against Roseburg. Bowman with the steal, one-on-one against Marr. With the right hand, she'll finish. Hannah Bowman gets her first points of the night. Makes it a 12-point game, 38-26, 30 seconds to play. Marr, pressure up the floor, goes right to the rim. And a whistle will send Liz Marr to the free throw line. Valiant effort tonight by Roseburg. Had a 7-point lead in the second half, but they just did not have enough in the tank to keep it in their favor against North Bend. And the Bulldogs rallying back to get a win here tonight against a 6A program for the first time this season. At the line, Mars' first free throw is good.
That one's good.
39-26. Trying to stretch it back out to the largest lead at 14. The second free throw is good.
Gets a second one.
So back to a 14-point lead. Amy Carpenter will get it across the timeline to Bowman. Right side, or left side, excuse me. Miller back out to Morello. Bowman, jump stop, wanted a three, doesn't take it. Out to Morello. Miller going to launch the three. It's short, going to miss everything. Rebound down to Frank, 7 seconds to go. And up the floor comes North Bend. A lay-in by Anderson as the buzzer sounds. Final score 42-26. And North Bend will get the win over Roseburg. The Roseburg girls put together one of their more complete performances of the season, but can't hang on to the lead in the second half. That'll wrap things up for tonight's broadcast of Roseburg girls basketball. 42-26 the final score. We'll come back with your postgame show where we will name tonight's Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. Final score again, North Bend wins 42-36. We'll go ahead and take a 3-minute break and come back with the postgame show and name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Buy one, get one free at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Buy one signature service oil change with Pennzoil at regular price through the end of March and receive a coupon for a second one free. That's a $43.99 value. The signature service oil change features up to 5 quarts conventional Pennzoil, a new spin-on filter, and a visual inspection of belts, brakes, tires, and wipers, plus fluid top-off and our 90-day top-off guarantee. Buy one signature service oil change, get one free through the end of March at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube next to Champion Car.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Welcome you back to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium, where tonight the Roseburg girls fall against the North Bend Bulldogs. Final score, 42-26, pulling away in the second half. North Bend finding their shooting touch in the fourth quarter as they outscore Roseburg 20-4 in the fourth alone. Roseburg outscored at 29-10 in the second half after building an early 7-point lead in the third quarter. Their early second half, Roseburg up by as many as 7. Really seemed like things were moving their direction, but they could not maintain the momentum as North Bend would start to catch fire. They start out the fourth quarter with 3 straight threes to really build a lead. They had rallied back to tie the game after 3 quarters to play. It was 22-all going to the fourth quarter, and then those 3 straight threes by North Bend, getting them a 9-point lead. At the time was their largest of the night, but then they added to it and end up leading by as many as 14. And that was your final, actually not your final margin. 16 was your largest lead of the game. That was the final margin. And so North Bend really starting to pull away in the fourth quarter, and Roseburg just unable to keep up. It's a position that the Roseburg girls really haven't been in at all this season, a chance to try and win a game in the fourth quarter. And so I'm sure that some of that was new territory for the Roseburg girls, and then yet another learning opportunity for head coach Chad Smith and his Roseburg team. We'll come back and we'll take a look at individual scoring from tonight's ball game, so stick around. We'll wrap up the postgame show. We'll also name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game for the Roseburg girls. Back after this break on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Kern Orthodontics, we stand out because of the smiles and the excitement that we create. A beautiful smile can really make a huge impact in someone's life. Our main goal is we also want you to be able to walk down the street and have your neighbors say, "Hey, where did you get that great smile?" And for you to be able to say, "At Kern Orthodontics."
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Back here to wrap things up with you in our post-game show from Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Tonight, the Roseburg girls fall 42-26 against the visiting North Bend Bulldogs. Taking a look at individual scoring tonight with a game-high 12 points. Adriana Frank, she hit 3 3-pointers in the ball game and finishes with 12 for the Bulldogs, 9 of those coming in the fourth quarter. 11 points for Kylie Lambert as she goes scoreless in the fourth quarter, but had done enough damage prior to that. The only 2 players in double figures tonight. 8 points, for Trinity Barker, who drilled a deep 3-pointer in that fourth quarter. Also went 4 for 4 from the line as she helped North Bend pull away for the win. 7 points for Caitlin Anderson, 2 points for Haley Reeves, and 2 points for Liz Marr. On the other side for Roseburg, leading the way with 7 points is Amy Carpenter. She scores 5 in the second half. 6 points for Jocelyn Montefiore. She has a new season high with 6 points there, hitting 2 3-pointers in the second quarter, the big quarter for Roseburg. Then you had 4 points in the game for Riley Molsick, 3 points for Emma Murphy, and 2 points for Hannah Bowman, Hayden Pinard, and Micaiah McClatcher. And that is your scoring tonight for the Roseburg girls in this tough loss against North Bend, a game that they had found themselves in contention until late in the ball game when things started to get out of hand with North Bend pulling ahead. It's time now to name our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game for tonight's contest. And we are going to go with Riley Molsick as our player of the game as we spread the love around a little bit there. We definitely thought that a lot of great performances tonight throughout the roster for the Roseburg girls, especially Amy Carpenter, who I thought did a really good job rebounding, and obviously the leading scorer for Roseburg. That is something that would normally earn you the player of the game, but she's done it once before, so we're going to spread the love around. I thought off the bench, Riley Molsick with 4 points in that big second quarter for Roseburg had a nice night. She also played some pretty good defense and got in there scrapping things around. So Riley Molsick tonight going to be our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game, winning a gift certificate to use there at Mountain Mike's. Congratulations to Riley Molsick. Also coming back from an injury and getting a chance to play this evening. So nice to see that things worked out well for her. Comes out and gets a couple of points there, plays some tough defense, and they'll look to see her continue to pick things up as the season wears on. Roseburg girls will be at North Medford for the next game coming up on Friday. The Roseburg boys will be back at home. We'll have that game for you on I-101 FM. Different channel coming up on Friday for the Roseburg boys. You can tune in. Dan Bain will have the coverage on I-101 FM on Friday with pregame starting at about 6:30 there. So for all you Roseburg basketball fans, make sure the word is spread. Roseburg boys will be on I-101 FM coming up on Friday. We'll have Doc Stewart's baseball for you that Friday night here on The Score. But both games will be streaming online at 541radio.com, so you can watch them there as well if you'd like to follow the action on the video players at 541radio.com. Well, that is going to do it for our broadcast here tonight, and we thank everybody for tuning in and following the game with us here. Want to say thanks to the North Bend Bulldogs for making the trek up over here today for the broadcast for tonight's basketball game. Thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bullen, Head Coach Chad Smith, and the Roseburg Girls Basketball Program for allowing us to bring you a season of Roseburg Girls Basketball here on The Score. Also want to say thanks to Brenton Cranford for help with the video production tonight here on site. Big thanks to Craig Ortega back in the studio for the radio production this evening. And as always, a thanks to you, the fans, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keyran. We will talk to you guys for our next sports broadcast tomorrow night. It is Doc Stewart's Baseball. They host the Medford Mustangs over at Champion Car Wash Field. They get started at 6. Our pregame coverage will begin at 5:45 as we continue to bring you local sports right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.